So with the new Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald coming out in just a few weeks, I thought there would be no better time to go back, review, and rewatch all of the Harry Potter films in the franchise. And so far, we are on the third Harry Potter film of the franchise, which is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Now, I have already done my reviews for Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which I will leave the link to at the end of this video. But this video is all about the third film in the franchise, like I said, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. So I'm going to tell you guys what I enjoyed about this movie, what I liked about it, and some things I maybe didn't like about it as well. But before we get into all that, I do got to say, if you're a fan of movie talk, movie reviews, and really everything of that nature, definitely consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell down below, which will notify you anytime I have any new content coming out. But with that out of the way, let's dive right into this. So Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, if I could start here, I definitely think this is one of the best Harry Potter films in the franchise and is personally one of my favorites for so many reasons, and there's just really so much I love about this film. So let's just get right into the things I love about it. Number one, look, obviously the kids are a bit older now, which is kind of surprising how much older they look because it's only been 2 years since the Chamber of Secrets, but in this movie they look so much older than they did in that movie, so that's really cool to see. But not only that, that means we can get into some darker stories, but not only that as well, that also means that their performances are starting to get better and build better. They're starting to build some momentum as actors and actresses, which you can really tell in this movie because their performances don't come across as cheesy, if you know what I mean, because sometimes in those first two movies they could come across as a little cheesy. This movie does not have that problem so much because the performances are much better as the older they get, if you know what I mean. Now, also, you cannot talk about the performances without talking about Gary Oldman playing Sirius Black. I love what he did with this movie, and it's so cool to see an actor of his caliber take on a role in such a popular, beloved film franchise. I love that Gary Oldman did that, and I think Gary Oldman definitely brought the best performance to the Harry Potter series up to this point. So up to the third movie, he definitely has brought the best performance to this series, in my opinion, and I love how they got Gary Oldman as Sirius Black. He does a fantastic job, mainly because you really can't even tell it's Gary Oldman, and that's what I really like about it, you know what I mean? Now, also, I love them. One of the main things I love about this movie is how much they expand the wizarding world of Harry Potter. You get to meet so many new things like the Ministry of Magic and the Dementors, which are just creepy as hell. The Dementors are so creepy, so scary, so freaky. I love how much they expand this Harry Potter universe and this Harry Potter world in this movie, because the first two, it really just seems like we stay in Hogwarts the whole time, and that's really a tribute to the actors getting older, like I said, because now we can start to get into these darker tales and start telling these darker movies, if you know what I mean. Now, also, one of my favorite, well, not one of, actually my favorite part of this whole movie is the time travel sequence. I think it is done so well in this movie, and it's like, it's so amazing to see on screen. You're kind of blown away at how well it's executed. Alfonso Cuarón does a great job executing that time travel scene, and it's one of my favorite scenes of all the Harry Potter movies, you know what I mean? It actually really is, which is kind of shocking to say. But I just really love that part about this film. Now, also, there's some good stuff in this film with Harry. Mainly, we get to know more about that night that his parents were killed and he became the boy who lived. We get to learn a little more. At first, you know, we think it's Sirius Black that, like, ratted them out and snitched them out, you know, whatever. But it was actually Peter Pettigrew, which is also another great thing about this movie. I love that twist because I did not read the book. So when you're watching this, they make you believe it's Sirius Black from the very beginning, excuse me. They make you believe it from the very, very beginning, which is fantastic, because when it hits you that it's not him, it even makes for a joyous, you know, twist, which I really enjoyed about it. It's one of my favorite twists in this whole franchise, because I didn't see it coming at all the first time I watched this movie, and I just loved it. And it is really the beginning of a great relationship between Harry Potter and Sirius Black in the movies to come. Now, also, the way the movie is directed is fantastic. You could tell after the success of the first two films, Warner Brothers really put this film franchise at the forefront, and they threw more money at it. They got a very talented director in Alfonso Cuarón, and they just really they went in on this movie, you know what I mean? Like they didn't in the first two. You know, the first two kind of seemed like, okay, let's see how this goes, and then they saw it become a success, and then they saw the potential of what this series could be, and they really threw their money and gave this movie a bigger budget and everything of that nature. And you could definitely tell it's one of the things that makes this movie so much more entertainment, is they have so much more, you feel like, to play with in this movie. And really the bus sequence, just the way it's directed and the visuals, the bus sequence really comes to my mind at the forefront at the beginning of the movie, because it's one of the best sequences in the Harry Potter film franchise, and I absolutely loved that. And the same thing with the time travel sequence. And not only that, like I said about the visuals, the Dementors look obviously fantastic as well. But with the positives out of the way, I do got to get into some of my negatives. And my one big negative was, even though the performances are better, there are some parts where you wish the performances were even better than they were. You know what I mean? Like mainly with Daniel Radcliffe and Harry Potter, there's one scene that comes to mind. You know, when he finds out Sirius Black had something to do with his parents' murder. You know, when he finds that out and it shows him crying, you really don't even see a tear, or I didn't really see a tear. So there's just some aspects of the performances that could get a little better, but it's just really getting nitpicky at that point. Overall, I love Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I would give this movie an A-. Like I said, it's one of my favorite Harry Potter movies in the franchise, and I just really enjoyed it overall. But definitely jump down in the comments below and let me know what you guys thought about Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Did you like it? Why or why not? I want to hear all your opinions on this. And if you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up and share on all your friends. But with all that out of the way, thank you for watching.